Good afternoon, everybody. I know I haven't been on here for a couple of days. My husband's on vacation, so I took a couple of days to be with him, and dealing with some, I think they're allergy issues. I did a deep cleaning of my cabinets yesterday, and ever since then, I'm having a real problem with my eyes. So, as you can see, there's no makeup, no nothing, because I don't dare put anything near my eyes. They just burn right now. A little bit better than they were last night. Most of the night they were really bothering me. So, anyways, but you didn't come here to get a health report from me. So, yeah, so I'm going to do another reading on Summer Wells. And I know there's a lot of people who think we're just doing this for the sake of just doing this to get more views, but it's bothering me. It's really, really bothering me that there are some people that I feel like should be talking who are not talking. Apparently the only person talking is Don. And I think it's because he can't keep his mouth shut, personally. I think that's what it comes down to. So, anyways, we're going to do who, what, where, when, and how. So what I did was I asked for cards. I went into my Lenormand deck and I asked for my Kipper deck, which this has some really interesting. It has a lot of cards that like you can use. There's a way to do readings with this, but it does give you keys that can be used as signifiers for readings. So, and what I like to do is have at least a card for a signifier. I got 3 this time. That's a process that I go through ahead of time. I do some meditation. I try to figure out the best way to bring this energy forward. So what I got was a mature man. Now, mature being in the case of this, for entertainment purposes only. He's older. I don't think we're necessarily talking about mentality level here. Or attitude. Let's put it that way. Attitude. I got bad health. So I'm not sure who in this situation has bad health, but someone is of concern about bad health. Now, for me, if I were Don Wells, I would be a little concerned about my health going forward. I think he has a lot of issues with other things, but this definitely says to me that you're looking at a mature male with concerns about bad health. So, and then I pulled out of John Holland's deck, and I got partnerships and alliances. And if you look at this, there's 2 hands grasping each other. Now, normally I would say this would be sort of like, almost like the 3 of Cups, where you have people coming together to form an alliance. Ironically, the number on this card is 3. This is 33, 31, and 5. So we have a lot of 3s coming up, which immediately makes me feel like there is a partnership or alliance that is between Don Wells, Candace Wells, and her mother as the 3 adults who were there when it happened. When I tried to meditate on this, I got that out of all 3 people who may possibly know what happened to her, we'll go to the who. All right. So we'll talk about who first, and that is little Summer. I think Summer was probably, she's a beautiful little girl. I think she was a handful. I think she was, you got two boys above her, and I think she just went along as one of the boys. I think that her energy was, all out there. She seems to have this light that just comes from her, she exudes. And I know I was reading something where somebody was talking about the fact that her hair was shaved. Well, you know what? I have friends who, well, even my husband, when he was a kid, they always got a summer haircut. And, the summer haircut was the buzz, and their father would do it, sit them down in the chair, buzz their hair. And if she wanted to be just like the boys, she's going to want one of those haircuts too. So I would not say that was a case of anything wrong other than her wanting to be just like everybody else. And I have the Crow Tarot, and this is the Two of Cups, and it was in reverse. So Two of Cups would normally be the Lover's card. In this case, it usually means more combining of energy, transforming from one to the other. It can also mean a balancing act. It has a heart on here, so it can mean health. And in this case, you're talking about a partnership or an alliance that has broken down. This is some relationship that has broken down. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon, talking about shadows, secrets, kind of fulfilling, kind of telling. When we talk about the secrets that are involved in this case, I fully think that there are, if I have to go by the reading of the energy that I get, is that 2 out of those 3 people know exactly what happened to her. 2 of those 3 people know and are manipulating the situation. You can pick whichever 2 you want, but I know which ones I think it is. More than one. I think one is stronger than the other. For entertainment purposes only. I've heard a lot of talk about Dawn. I honestly don't feel like he is I think he knows stuff, but he doesn't come forward with it. So 10 of Cups, a family situation. Normally it would be a celebration. Here's the heart again. And so we talked about the heart in the 2 of Cups being in reverse. A relationship breaking down. This would be a situation that was heartbreaking. And the 7 of Wands. This to me feels like, and my eye is twitching, sorry. This feels like people circling around them. Like there are people waiting to pull this apart. And I know that, so of course, everybody's really involved with this. Everybody wants to know what happened to Summer, and I get that. All right, so we're going to go back. We've talked a little about who. carried away. This is the what. That she was taken away. She was bundled up and carried away. Was Summer bundled up and carried away? Summer bundled up and carried away. Two sevens, that's 7 of swords. So we had 7 of wands, 7 of swords. On the back of that card, it looks like there's a mountain. And, you know, people are going to tell me I'm stretching. Probably am. And they're carrying that information away, or those truths away from that, and leaving a few in their path. So there's 2 stuck in the ground, 2 laying there, and he's carrying away the rest. You make of that what you will, but to me that feels like the wear to me. Feels like it happened right there. Of course, we know that she disappeared from the basement. What I don't get is, did somebody actually hear a scream? And if they did, why didn't her mom and grandmother hear that scream? If there was that Summer that screamed, did someone hear Summer scream? Temperance. That's quite a card. There's those 2 of Cups again. Spilling the truth out from one to the other. Tempering the situation. I feel like there are things that have come forward with this case, things that have been offered that weren't necessarily the truth, but they weren't meant to stop the investigation. They were just meant to help. So they may have been intended well, but they didn't necessarily help the situation. All right. Did the situation happen as it's been stated? Did she disappear from the basement? Did Summer disappear from the basement? There's a real, we don't talk about this idea, this feeling here, this whole, we don't talk about this, we don't offer things, we don't need anybody in our business. I think, and this is not an excuse, but I think that Summer was used to having sort of a free reign of open reign. I think that she was in and out. It could be wherever she needed to be. They talk about it being the hill. So I feel like it was not uncommon for her to chase along after the boys and they go out into the woods, and it was not uncommon for her to take off. So there may not have been this sort of urgency in the beginning, just like, oh, well, she must be out with the boys. Oh, she went up to her grandmother's. Oh, she went this way. It definitely feels like to me like her energy is, I'm just one of the boys. I'm going to do what they're doing. I'm going to be on the same level. What doesn't make sense to me is this. There's a lot of things that don't make sense to me about this, but the biggest one is, if those three people, that partnership, that alliance, weren't responsible for Summer's disappearance, then who was? And if so, why would they stay quiet about it? Unless they knew or were covering something up. I know there was some speculation over whether she had been and this is really horrible, sold. It's very different. I mean, she's really quite a bright child. And so I think that she's not going to put up well. She's not one to stop fighting. I think when Cleo in Australia went missing, she was so young. She was able to hold on to that sort of innocence, and luckily it wasn't worse than it was. I just feel like this sort of, with Summer, there is this sort of reality that she understands better about life than most people would at that age. I don't think she was shielded from a lot. Let's see what else we get here. Let's try a different deck. All right. Did someone leave on her own that morning? Or did someone take Summer? Did someone from outside the family take Summer? It was fate. Got a lot of cards going here. Choices and consequences. one gives me the grapes. Preparation comes to fruition. I don't know if you could see that. Looking down on something as if somebody was watching and waiting. And the whole idea makes me really kind of sick. Does Summer's family know who took her? Does Summer's family know who took her? What was that movie? There was a movie with a little girl who was, all I can remember is probably in the 50s. And she's, I keep thinking it's To Kill a Mockingbird. And she's wearing overalls. She's got kind of a tomboyish haircut. She thinks that she's like one of the boys. And that's sort of what I feel like Summer was. Like, and I'm trying to remember. Maybe somebody else can tell me what that little girl's name was in To Kill a Mockingbird. She gives me that same kind of energy. Like she was all over the place. Like she saw all kinds of things. And she, fearless. A lot of fearless energy. Like there wasn't a lot of stopping her. Summer's parents know or suspect who took Summer. Unmarked trail revelations. I think they suspect, but they don't have proof. Somebody seems... Okay. What I'm getting. She went out, and I feel like at this time, the energy that I am reading is saying that there was a lack of control to keep her safe. I think she disappeared. It was not uncommon for them not to know where she was. And I think she either saw something or someone do something that they knew she knew, or it was someone who was waiting for her. Waiting their time, saw an opportunity. Hits home really like heavy. Saw an opportunity and took it. And I feel like it's this, there's not a lot of faith on the family side when it comes to the police, being given fair. They know that they're going to be in the spotlight, and that so their reaction is to close down, except for Don, who can't keep his mouth shut for entertainment purposes only. I think the police have only one chance of getting anything. It's a case of if all the evidence is pointing towards them and the people aren't talking about it, they're going to have to pin it on somebody. If all the evidence goes this way and this person isn't talking, most likely suspect. There are a lot of people, I say a lot, I don't know what the number is, but there are people who go to prison who were not necessarily guilty. I'm not saying these people are innocent by a long shot. I am saying this is a different lifestyle than most of us will ever recognize. And I think that, you know, we are armchair quarterbacks sitting here calling a play on something. Obviously hoping for the best. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna do another video on this as soon as I get a chance. We'll talk some more about summer. And the whole dynamic, because the whole dynamic is just strange. So, all right, let's see here. Guess that's it for now. All right, thanks for joining me. Hope you all are doing well. We'll persevere with this. All right, thanks. Be safe, be healthy, and sending you blessings. Bye-bye.